Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Psalm 27. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell.
But I'm not gonna talk to you here because this is. No, you did. I said okay, but I'm not gonna talk to you here because this is. No, you did not talk to me at my business. I asked you nicely to pay. I went polite to you. You walked out. No, and you think I'm not gonna follow you? This lady gets up at my business and she just walk out. And she over here ordering pizza. I said okay, but I'm not gonna talk to you here because this is. No, you did not talk to me at my business. I asked you nicely to pay. I went polite to you. You walked out. No, and you think I'm not gonna follow you? This lady gets up at my business and she just walk out. And she over here ordering pizza.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. Alright, and what I want to get into today, alright, is dealing with the rivalry, between Jacob and Esau. Alright, now what we seen on this clip, is Moab, alright, against this nigga woman, alright, or this nigga wildebeest. Okay, and this is the auntie character, alright, that has, her and her sisters have raised this generation of men. All right, and these are the aunties that raise these emotional niggas we see, on the comment board. All right, and this just goes on to further show, all right, that the nigga woman is completely out of order, man, and she does exactly what she wants to do in the earth, man. And this is allowed by Esau Edom, all right, because he knows the more out of order that this nigga is, the more destroyed the nation is. All right, and what we see, is just the nigga woman has absolutely no respect for any type of authority outside of Esau Edom. Okay, no respect for any authority or rules. She's a complete animal on the loose, man. All right, now this big ass nigga here, when he got her nails done, okay, and just walked out and took her fat ass over here and ordered a pizza, man. Just does what the hell they want in society, man. Like the out of order, all right, completely, disregard for any type of authority, and this is what this society has bred under Esau Edom, okay, and Esau allows this because this behavior can be easily blamed and targeted. Because that's the point of the lesson. When you go to the comment board, all right, you're going to see that there's that rivalry of Jacob and Esau is brewing, because you got, this scientific racism, which puts Jake on a level, with an animal. That's where you get, the Darwinism and all these different things from, pretty much referring to, Jake as an animal, a subtle way of comparing Jake to an animal. All right. These theories, Jake mind not being able to function, being liberated, and all these different theories that make Jake inferior. And you have this type of behavior, which Esau is behind this behavior modification of our people. Okay, now our people are completely out of pocket and wrong, the nigga and the nigga woman. Okay, they're completely out of pocket how they behave, and they're going to be judged. But we can't dismiss, all right, the behavior modification and the emphasis that Esau has pushed on creating this character for our people, man. This degenerate character for our people, okay? And it makes Jake to be an easy target, Okay, when it comes to criticism, all right, it makes it seem like Esau, is justified in how he treats Jake, man. And we're seeing this rivalry brew because I want to go to the comment board. This is the main reason. All right, I came to this video. All right, now you see, um, you go to the comment board. It says call the cops on Ghetto Fabulous. All right, you got this guy Lucas Riley said, Mr. Trump, can they be deported? Okay, Mr. Trump, can they be deported? All right, it says next comment, it's a culture thing. All right, it says never ashamed, always offended. Okay, speaking of our people. Okay, so you keep going. Uh, it says so typical. All right, it's a culture truth thing. All right, is anyone surprised? All right. Let's see some more. No surprises here. Okay, same color all the time. Okay, same color all the time. You see, and Esau has been able to link our people with this behavior. All right, and this make it seem as if his scientific racism theories are true because of Jake's the culture, all right, that our people have taken on in this society, man. Okay, it said it doesn't matter where you go, grocery stores, the mall, cruise ships, hair salons, airplanes, fast food, vacation, overseas, sporting events, nail salons. Okay, going into Jake, lately, Jake been getting kicked off cruise ships. Okay, you got one Jake family, like 18 of them, got left in the Bahamas on the cruise ship, man. All right, because of fighting and the niggerdom that Jake be on. All right. Same old, same old. Again, beautiful culture. Big surprise. All right. So Jake has been associated with this particular culture, which, and Jake, now does a tremendous, wonderful job of fulfilling all these stereotypes, which at the end of the day, all our people are not like this, the men and women of our nation. All right. You have upstanding, men and women of the tribes. All right. But this is what's always going to get the most attention because this is easily blamed. Okay. And you see, on the comment board that Esau is getting back into their spirit of he's justified. He doesn't feel any remorse for what has been done, all right, to the tribes, what has been done to Jake, all right, and what's to come. Because, see, this is happening because this devil is getting ready to make a move on Jake, man. And Jake has no idea, okay? And it goes back to a rivalry, all right? And Esau is making Jake easily blamed, all right, so he can be justified in what he wants to do. Because you go to the word rivalry, it says competition for the same objective or for superiority in the same field. And what is the objective, all right, that Esau wants? You go here, all right. This is Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Okay? So the blessing, was the spark of this rivalry. All right, that we see playing out today. All right? And this devil has had a perpetual hatred since then. The descendants of Esau and the descendants of Jacob, all right, will always have a rivalry in the earth. It will always be, all right, tension, man. It will always be tension, man. That's why every now and then you lock eyes with an Edomite, especially Edomite male, and it's just this awkward tension, it's like it, the spirits know what it is, man. This built-in rivalry between these two nations, man. Okay, and see, this devil has got very crafty and he has engineered our people, a culture, okay, that makes them the easy target to blame, because Esau, all right, can make you be out to be inferior, less than human. He can justify his wicked actions against you, man. Okay, and this what has been done for decades, man. This man has allowed our people to just run amok. Okay, he's just allowed gang culture, all right, to do his thing, drug culture, all right, the nigga woman just to be unchecked, okay, and just completely out of pocket, out of order, you know. So now, people, all right, look at Jake, all right, is not even worthy of living, man. This man is deep in his psychology, man. Okay, and when he makes this move, when he starts to make his move on Jake, man, there's gonna be no uproar or no emotions from the masses, man. Because why? He is desensitized people, all right, to Jake, man. The same way he has done, all right, to Ishmael, the Arabs over there in the Middle East. Okay, so-called Middle East. He has done the same thing on this side, man. Okay, with Jake. All right, and this devil that rivalry is brewing up. All right, and this devil Trump, Elon, they big on Edomite supremacy, man. Okay, certain Edomite, supremacists on these podcasts, or voicing, how they feel, and there's no guilt. This thing of white guilt is nah, ain't no white guilt, man. We did it, we doubled down on it, and we getting ready for another round of it. Okay, so we're seeing this rivalry, brew. Okay, let's go here, because it speaks about their rivalry as well when you go to Sirach 33 and 10. Okay, it says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of the earth. In much knowledge the Lord divided them and made their ways diverse. Okay, and it's Sirach 33 10 through 14. It says, some of them have he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself, but some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liking him best. It says, good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly set against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly, man. All right, and this is their rivalry, man. And this, you go back from Adam. What did you have? You had the serpent, and Adam, that rivalry. Okay, and what he used, who did the serpent go through? Who did he defile and corrupt? Okay, to weaken Adam, the woman. Okay, that's why so much emphasis. This man pampers the woman, as if he has her best interest in mind, but he knows what he's doing is pushing, all right, them towards self-destruction, which is a ripple effect to the rest of the nation, man. The woman was sold a dream in the garden. The woman was sold a dream during feminism. It's the same rivalry, man. All right, Cain and Abel, those are rivalry. Okay, Jacob and Esau is a rivalry, man. Okay, the Israelites and Edomites is a rivalry in the earth, man. Okay, and this man, he wants us to be unworthy of the birthright, of the blessing. Okay, that's why he pushed emphasis on creating, all right, this culture for Jake. Well, Jake is just out of pocket, man. So reading on, and it says, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly, man. And the Lord made two manner of people, all right, in the same womb of Rebecca. Okay, and in the womb, what did they do? They oppressed each other, man. Yeah, so we're seeing this ancient rivalry, begin to brew. Okay, and you wait till resources are removed, man, because you're gonna have class wars. You're gonna have Jacob versus Esau. That's gonna be a thing. Okay, You're gonna have, political wars. You're gonna have all type of division, all right, and conflicts and chaos in the earth, man. And you're gonna have, Joe Sixpack, all right, and Travante lock up. Okay. You see? And then Esau intentionally allowed Jake's behavior to become a problem so they can be easily blamed for what they want to do, man. Okay? And that's to eradicate, all right? Because remember, there's a heavy depopulation agenda within this New World Order, man. And you know what nation's on the top of the list, all right, of being depopulated, man. All right? And that's why Yahweh Shai, he said this, okay? And our people, they think, that they're beyond, all right, that era of Esau's wickedness, okay? But when you go here to, is it Luke 19 and 41, it says, and when he was come near, and he beheld the city, and wept over it, saying, if thou hadst known, even thou at least in this day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now are they hid from thine eyes, man. Okay, and he's speaking to Israel, about what's to come, which he was speaking of 70 AD. But now there's a time coming that's going to be worse than 70 AD. Okay, and Jake had no clue of what was getting ready to happen, in the next few decades after Yahweh Shai, will return to the Father. He will be crucified, resurrected, and return to the Father. And a few decades later, you will have 70 AD. And Yahweh Shai, he could see it, but it was hid, from Jake. All right, for the majority of our people, these things. Okay, so Yahweh Shai is telling them, y'all have no idea what's about to be upon y'all peace, man. Okay, because right now Jake is still chilling. All right, but they have no idea what's brewing. Okay, and this devil has an agenda against Jake, man. Okay, your existence is a threat to the devil. That's why our people don't understand. They refuse this truth. They refuse, the prophets and the teachings. Well, you're refusing to be warned. Okay. And we understand where this thing is going, but we understand, just as Yahweh Shai said, it is hid from the eyes of the majority of our people. Okay, verse 43 said, for the day shall come upon thee that thy enemy shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation, man. Okay? And Esau, you best believe, when the lights go out, man, when these food shortages and certain things, who is going to affect the most first. All right? And this devil going to do a lot of wickedness when the lights go out, man. All right? You seen that in the Purge movie, man. When Jake wasn't purging each other enough, all right, they sent reinforcements in, man, to get the party started, man. Okay? So I just want to get into that, man, just looking at that comment board, and just seeing, all right, that Esau is becoming more bold, all right, in speaking against Jake, which Jake is out of pocket, all right, and these niggas need to be judged, okay? But we're just bringing awareness to show what's happening, all right, in the earth, man, what's going on. As we're on our watch, man, the scriptures say, be not ignorant of a thing small or great. So we just watch, as things happen, and we report as need be, so Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters, edified till next time I say shalom.